Leaders of the Group of Seven gathered for a crucial second day of talks in Evian-les-Bains, France, hosted by French President Emmanuel Macron. The summit focused on two major issues: strengthening support for Ukraine and addressing the crisis in the Middle East. Leaders from Brazil, India, Kenya and South Korea joined discussions alongside the G7 nations and the European Union. A French diplomatic source said G7 leaders agreed during what were described as very productive talks on Ukraine to remain united in their support for Kyiv and increase pressure on Russia. Leaders also agreed to pursue tougher sanctions targeting Russia's oil and gas sectors. US President Donald Trump said Russia should make a peace deal with Ukraine and pledged to do what he could to help end the war.
And we'll see how. I spoke with President Putin on Sunday. And it's sort of the same thing. I mean, they just keep going, fighting, losing soldiers. They lose so many soldiers. This is not since World War II has anything like this happened. I settled 8 wars. This was the one I thought was going to be the easiest settled. There's a lot of dislike between the two leaders.
Trump met Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky during a working session and later held additional talks with him on the sidelines of the summit. Following the talks with Trump, Zelensky said Ukraine hopes to secure US licenses to produce anti-ballistic air defense systems and missiles.
I raised the topic of licenses. I addressed it to President Trump. We need licenses to produce missiles. We have capabilities different. It's difficult to produce Patriot systems and missiles. Yes, I know. I had a lot of, believe me, I had a lot of meetings and calls with Raytheon, with the company, with their management, CEOs, and etc. I know. I'm deeply in this topic, but in any way, we want to increase their production if they will be okay, and if President Trump will support this idea. But now he was positive.
The summit also widened its focus beyond Europe. Macron welcomed the leaders of the United Arab Emirates, Egypt and Qatar for discussions expected to center on the Middle East crisis. Meanwhile, Trump defended a preliminary agreement with Iran, saying it ensures Tehran will never be allowed to develop a nuclear weapon. He also said he has a strong relationship with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, but urged Israel to act more responsibly in Lebanon, adding that he was unhappy with recent actions in Beirut, while efforts continue to reach a broader deal with Iran.